DJ iSizzle is a professional and experienced DJ hailing from Southern California, specialising in weddings, parties, clubs, bars, community and school events, and boasting a career spanning since the age of 10. And DJ iSizzle is with us here. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for that intro. That was awesome.
So, how did you actually get started in the world of DJing?
It started, I was living up on the San Juan Islands, up in Washington State, and they were having it was like they were doing for kids on the island and stuff, they had nothing to do. So they were able to get some funds from the state, and they wanted to start doing dances. And then they basically hired a DJ from Seattle to come up and DJ. And then he taught me how to DJ. And then I eventually just took over the role and just kept DJing for years after that. So.
Wow. And is it quite hard to DJ? Because you mentioned you were taught. Is there a kind of special craft to it that you develop over the years?
Definitely. When I started, I had stage fright. I was scared to get up on the microphone, scared to get up on stage. You also have to know how to read a crowd because every crowd is different. Every event is different. If it's a wedding, it's a totally different crowd than if it's like a high school dance or a elementary dance or a club, completely different crowds. So you do have to study what different crowds like. So yeah, it does take a lot of years to actually hone the craft and to know how to read. Yeah.
Because I suppose you have to be a sort of performer as well, because myself as a sort of radio presenter, I play songs and stuff in between. But if you were to watch me doing it, it'd be really boring. So you have to kind of be a bit dancey and a bit excited and look like you want to be there.
Yeah, of course. I get into it. I love. I know a lot of DJs they kind of frown upon line dancing and cha-cha slide or Cupid shuffle kind of dances. But man, I get into it. I love hyping the crowd up. I love getting on the mic and introducing songs, requests, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you definitely have to get hyped because if you're just static, then they're like, why are you playing this song? Are you not feeling it? I mean, what's going on here, So I totally understand, with you do have to do the intros and all that other stuff. So, keep it lively and everything. So, yeah.
And how would you describe your style as a DJ? Do you think you have your own unique style?
I think so. I mean, I really try to just be the person you already know, the friend that is a DJ or something like that. So it's you're oh, I already know this guy. He seems familiar to me. So, and I just love interacting with all different types of people, cultures, ages, groups, all that kind of stuff. So.
And how is it you curate the playlist? Because you mentioned the crowd is different, but I guess the stuff you'd play in the club is different to what you'd play at a wedding, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I spend hours upon hours. I'll watch React videos. I'll go online, search out the hottest stuff right now, and then I'll also just based on previous experiences in different crowds of what songs work and don't work, as well as if I'm doing a wedding, I'll just do a pre-interview with the couple. I'll just be like, hey, do you guys have a playlist you want me to work from, or do you have do not play songs? Because some people are please do not play the YMCA at all at my wedding. Please do not do that. So I'm I totally understand. I mean, it's a fun song, but I understand your group does not like that song, so we'll keep away from that. So, yeah.
That's the thing, I suppose, because even, obviously, there's difference between weddings and clubs, but every wedding will be different because it could be a completely different aged couple or they're just into different stuff. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
There's a lot more that goes into it than what you'd think.
For sure. I DJ'd 2 weddings this last weekend, one in Oregon and then one in Washington. And they're back to back, so it's the first one was a little more low key. The second one was just a hype fest. So you just never know what you're going to get. And sometimes I'll DJ for a 70-year-old couple. Sometimes they'll be 21. So the music is they want 1920s music. They want 2020s music. So it's the contrast is completely different, but all in all, it's nice because you don't get burnout on the same genre of music or you know what I mean? The same playlist. So
yeah, that's a good point. And is there a secret to keeping the party dancing all night long?
Yeah, there definitely is a secret. I do my own edits of songs because I found certain songs that maybe 70s disco, the intro will be 1 minute long. And if you're on a dance floor and it's hot, man, you want to get right to the good stuff. You don't want to be 1 minute break of just instrumental. So what I'll do is I'll edit it down to an 8-second intro or a 16-second intro and just get right to the good stuff. Sometimes I'll re-edit songs and make the hook first for older songs because a lot of people don't know verses of older songs, but they know the hook. So a lot of times when it's a hot dance floor, you have to shorten your songs up too. You can't be doing like 5-minute songs. You got to keep them like 2.5 minutes. So yeah, that's kind of the secret, I think, to keeping it going.
Now, you've actually had the opportunity to DJ for some impressive names and at some impressive venues. So is there maybe one or two particular standout moments that were particularly meaningful to you?
Yeah, definitely. So I would say Target was a big one because it's a huge retail chain. I grew up shopping at Target, and it was really cool. It was like a grand store opening. The mayor was there. There's all sorts of like big, high up people in the corporation and everything, and they were just super grateful. It was just a great company to work for. It was a pretty laid back event. They did the tape cutting, and then they went over and did like barbecue, and it was a whole family event as well. So that one was a lot of fun. And then Black Angus Steakhouse was really fun too. That was another lucky one. Sometimes you just kind of fall into these gigs where it's like they'll just hit you up, and you'll just be like, I am available that day. Come to find out. Like, I'd love to be there for you. So, but the difference was like Target was like pop music, top 40, and for kids. And then Black Angus was more like country, classic rock. So I didn't really know a lot of country on that one. So I had to like educate myself. Like I had a couple days, and I'm just like hours on end, just researching as much country music as I could find, and just like, what's the good stuff for that crowd.
And you were also named the People's Sexiest DJ in 2019. So how did that recognition impact your career?
It really hasn't had much of an impact, to be honest with you. But it was just kind of like one of those like, wow, okay, well, thank you guys. I guess, women, they like guys that dance, and they like guys that like just have fun. So maybe that was the reason. I don't know. I just, I said thank you, and I just moved on. That's all. Is
there a particular thing that you love the most about being a DJ?
It's the emotions. It really is, like shared emotions, and being there live is totally different than a pre-recorded DJ set. Like you can't beat the energy in a room with being around 100 people, 200 people, whatever it is. Like you just can't beat that energy. So that's probably the best thing, is the emotions that you get.
And being live is obviously better than a pre-recorded set, but of course,
absolutely,
it comes with risks. So do you get a bit nervous sometimes?
The first couple shows I did, I was really nervous, but I've been so lucky these last few years. Like I played probably around 50 to 60, 70 shows a year, and I just don't get nervous anymore. Like this last Sunday, I was thinking about, I was like, man, I was just talking in front of 200 people. Wow. There wasn't a nerve in my body, and like, a lot of people, they get up there and they're just like very nervous to be in front of a lot of people. But I guess I just pray before. I just say, let's make everything good, and let's just meditate on the moment, and the rest just takes care of itself.
And do you ever make a few mistakes, maybe ones that people don't actually notice?
Yeah, I don't use headphones in my set. What I do is I memorize all the songs, and then I set up my playlist to make sure that I have it going. But one time I accidentally played a song twice. It was like within a couple minutes, and I thought it was a different song, and I was like, oh no. But then the crowd just loved it. They were like, oh my God, you're playing this song again. Yeah, we love this song. So it actually worked out okay. But yeah, sometimes sometimes I'll be playing for like 7-8 hours, like, so if you're playing a long set like that, it's like you got to kind of, I don't know, you just got to have everything set up, and you got to know your whole catalog and your library. So but if you make a mistake, you just got to say, oh, my bad, let me bring that one back.
You just pretend that was meant to happen.
Yeah, that was meant to happen, of course.
You can style it out, can't you?
Yeah, you want to hear that song? Yeah, let's play it again. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And 8 hours, that is quite a long shift, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Do you get breaks or anything, or is it just straight full on?
Well, I mean, the thing that people don't say about DJing too is that you do have to travel to these events, and sometimes that'll take you like 2-3 hours of traffic and stuff. So you're up early and you're out late night and everything. But usually with those sets, it's, you just got to kind of take your time. I have an assistant with me, so if I have to take a bathroom break, or if I have to take like I got to go walk up there and walk back break, I got to go wait from the board for a few minutes, then she'll be there for me, and she'll just kind of transition songs back and forth.
For those who are maybe looking to pursue a career in DJing, what advice would you maybe give to them?
I would say just try it out first and see if you like it. Don't invest in a bunch of gear. Don't spend like $10,000 on a bunch of gear. I started with I found a little like tiny mixer board in a closet at my friend's house, and I hooked it up one day, and I started mixing again, and I was like, wow, this is cool. And then I ended up buying like a $300 mixer, and then just recently I bought like a $1,500 mixer. So it's just kind of like a slow upgrade. Don't try to buy all the big gear first, because you don't know, it might become a hobby, or it might become something you just don't like.
Yeah.
So That, and you have to be a people person. It's a lot of customer service to it. So you have to be in a good mood all the time. So you can't ever be in a bad mood, else people will remember you as the bad mood DJ. So you gotta love people. That's a big part of it. So
yes. And that's quite difficult when you're getting up in the early morning and finishing late at night, isn't it?
Yeah. If you're not a morning person, then it's it's all that good stuff. So I'm more of a night owl myself. So I like the later shows. I like the 6 o'clock ceremonies, not the 1 p.m. ceremonies for the most part. So
yes. And looking back on your own career, what is sort of one of your all-time favorite memories or experiences?
I would say the first couple of years, like when I was like 12, 13, 14, like DJing middle school dances when I was like in ninth grade or like around the same age. Even like I DJ'd my own prom, which was pretty crazy too. Like they were like, we need a DJ. And they're like, oh, we know you want to DJ. You already DJ dances anyway. So I'm like, sure, I'll be more than happy to. So probably DJing my own prom would be like a really good memory. That was a lot of fun.
What can we expect to see from you in the future? Are there any upcoming sets or events or anything that you're working on?
Yeah, definitely. I just got a homecoming gig that's on the 30th of this month, and then we're doing it's like a beers and brewers fundraiser on October 6th, and then we've got a Halloween car show festival coming up at the end of the month of October. And then November, we have a junior cheerleading event. And then December, we have like a hotel stuff. So like wedding season is kind of coming to a close. We have like one more wedding next week. And then it's kind of coming down to kind of simmers down a little bit. And now it just becomes more like fun events and stuff, like just random events.
That's interesting, because I never thought of there being a wedding season, but I guess there is, because it's prefer to get married in the summer.
Most weddings are, it starts starts around May, June. Yeah. And then right around end of September to October, it kind of boils down. And then you'll get a couple like receptions here and there that you'll get like throughout the winter and fall time. So
how far in advance are you booked for Christmas? Are you one of these people that's fully booked for the whole of December by the time October comes?
Yeah, I'm about to finish booking July of next year for weddings. Like all the Saturdays are almost booked up. So people, they get word that you DJ and they 6, 7, 8 months to a year, they're ready to book you because they don't want to be last minute, and they want to know like most good quality DJs are already booked up like a year in advance. So you gotta like, hey, we need a DJ. Like, let's get one now. Like, we don't want to be last minute. So, well,
where can we keep up to date with you and book you and do everything that you want us to do with you?
Sure. My website is iSizzle.com. And I post a lot of blogs there. I have a lot of information for up and coming DJs as well as like for people planning events. I do like a blog. I post like every couple of days on it, as well as you can catch me on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Yeah, YouTube as well.
Great. Well, many thanks for talking to us today. It's been great having you here.
Yeah, appreciate it.